Have you ever told your dog something just to get them to do what you want? Maybe you said, "We're going to the park," but instead you took them to the vet. Maybe you promised, "I'll be right back," but then left them alone for hours. Or maybe you called them over sweetly, only to clip their nails or give them a bath they hate. We like to think our dogs are innocent, that they believe every word we say. But here's the truth. Dogs are far smarter than we give them credit for. And scientists now have proof. Your dog knows when you're lying. That's right. Those big brown eyes, that tilted head, that wagging tail, they're not just signs of affection. They're also signs of judgment. Your dog is constantly studying you, reading your body language, your tone, your behavior. And when your words don't match your actions, they notice. They may forgive you, they may still love you, but inside, they know you lied. The first clue comes from the way dogs evolved alongside humans. For thousands of years, dogs have lived by our side. They hunted with us, guarded our homes, shared our food. To survive, they had to learn one crucial skill: how to read people. A dog that could sense honesty, danger, or intent had a better chance of thriving. Over time, this ability became sharper, passed down through generations. Today, your dog can read you in ways even your closest friends cannot. But don't just take my word for it. Scientists in Vienna conducted a fascinating experiment. They trained dogs to follow human cues. One researcher would point to a bowl of food, and the dog would eagerly run to it. Then, in the next round, the researcher deliberately pointed to the wrong bowl, an empty one. At first, the dog obeyed, trusting the signal. But after being tricked a few times, the dogs changed. They stopped following the liar. Instead, they relied on their own judgment. The conclusion was clear. Dogs can detect dishonesty, and once they know you're untrustworthy, they won't fall for the same trick again. Think about that. Your dog not only knows when you're lying, they remember it. It makes sense when you consider how dogs observe us. They notice the slightest twitch of a hand, the smallest change in your voice, the shift in your breathing. When you say, "We're going for a ride," but your body tenses because you're actually heading to the vet, your dog picks up on it. When you say, "I'll be back soon," but grab your work bag and keys, your dog knows that soon means hours. They may not understand words the way we do, but they understand patterns, and they are experts at connecting your promises with your actions. This ability is more than just cleverness. It's emotional intelligence. Dogs are deeply attuned to human emotions. Studies show they can read facial expressions, sense stress through scent, and even detect changes in heartbeat. When you lie, your body betrays you. Your heartbeat may speed up, your tone may change, your scent may shift, and your dog notices all of it. Now, you might wonder, do dogs actually hold grudges? The answer is complicated. Dogs live in the present, yes, but they also build trust over time. If you lie to your dog occasionally, they may let it go. But if lying becomes a pattern, they'll adjust their behavior. That's why some dogs refuse to come when called, ignore commands, or hesitate when their owners try to coax them. They've learned the hard way that those words don't always lead to good things. There's a story of a man named Alex and his beagle, Toby. Alex would always say, "Want a treat?" to get Toby into the car. But instead of a treat, it was usually the groomer or the vet. Over time, Toby stopped responding to the word treat. He would just sit and stare, tail still, eyes doubtful. Alex thought Toby was being stubborn. In truth, Toby had learned not to trust the promise. That's the price of dishonesty with a dog. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Some scientists believe dogs can detect lies even better than small children. In one study, toddlers under 3 years old still followed misleading cues from adults, even after being tricked several times. Dogs, on the other hand, quickly stopped trusting the liar and chose their own path. Think about that. Your dog may be better at spotting lies than a human child. And it doesn't stop there. Dogs don't just detect dishonesty. They judge character. Have you ever noticed your dog acting wary around someone new? Maybe they bark, avoid eye contact, or refuse to go near them. Researchers in Japan tested this by having strangers act helpful or unhelpful toward a dog's owner. Later, when the dog was offered food by those same strangers, they refused to take it from the unhelpful ones. The message was clear. Dogs notice fairness, kindness, and honesty, not just from you, but from others too. So what does this mean for us as owners? It means our dogs are always watching. They know when our words don't match our actions. They know when our promises are empty. And over time, those lies chip away at trust. Love may remain. Dogs are loyal beyond measure, but the purity of trust becomes clouded. That's why consistency is so important. If you tell your dog, walk, make sure it's a walk, not a trip to the vet. If you promise a treat, give them one, even if it's a small piece of kibble. If you say, I'll be back soon, and you'll actually be gone for hours, try creating a different routine that doesn't rely on false words. Your dog deserves honesty, even in small things. Of course, there are moments when you can't avoid tricking your dog. Sometimes you have to lure them into the car, or get them to take medicine, or coax them into the bath. The key is balance. If most of your interactions are truthful and rewarding, your dog will forgive the occasional necessary trick. But if deception becomes the norm, don't be surprised when they stop trusting your words. And here's something that may shock you even more. Dogs don't just know when you lie to them. They know when you lie to yourself. They can sense when you pretend to be calm, but are secretly nervous. They know when you say you're fine, but carry sadness in your heart. They know when you smile, but don't mean it. Their bond with us is so deep, so intimate, that they pick up on emotions we try to hide. In a way, lying around your dog is impossible because your body and soul reveal the truth to them. Think about the implications. Your dog is not just a pet who obeys commands. They are a companion who understands honesty, integrity, and trust in ways that are closer to human relationships than we ever imagined. They judge your words not just by sound, but by action. They weigh your honesty not just by promises, but by consistency. And they never forget when you break that trust. So the next time you are tempted to say something your dog wants to hear just to make things easier for you, remember this: your dog will know. They will notice the mismatch between your words and your actions, and little by little their response will change. But here's the hopeful part. Just as they never forget dishonesty, they never forget kindness either. Every truthful promise kept, every word followed by action, every moment of consistency strengthens the bond. Dogs may not understand every word we say, but they understand truth. And truth builds a love that lasts a lifetime.